Okay, Aries, welcome back to my channel. Just a quick read for you. Just going to do general energy first, and then we'll get into it a little bit further out. So what I see here is a lot of major arcana, a lot. It looks like you're going through something very big, and I'm so sorry about my cards. I've had an issue, and unfortunately, as I took them apart, it, of course, destroyed a few. So until I can get some new ones, these are what I have to deal with. There was an incident. So anyway, apologies on that. But what I'm seeing here, again, these are just the clarifiers here to the rest of the cards. It does look like you're really going through something quite significant this month. I mean, when I see the Sun card out here, everything is going to end on a positive note. So fear not, whatever it is that, especially if this is dealing with any kind of medical issues, I feel like things are going to be turning a corner here pretty soon, or, you know, maybe not this month specifically, but certainly up and coming, because you are still in a process, in the space of healing. But your mental thoughts are certainly in a very currently just in a very heavy spot for the month of July 2023. The Six of Wands tells me that you are overcoming something, and I do feel like it's in around your energy. It's almost like your energy may be returning here for some of you. And for others, this could be dealing with something that's in around the area of a successful achievement of something that's in around, again, could be energy related here as well. But the King of Wands definitely speaks to, you know, somebody having a fairly good amount of authority. So I would say that there is something that you're getting in control of. And again, it still represents a lot of energy. So maybe it's you getting in control of your energy or taking back your energy, something along that lines. But along that line, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius also present here. But again, even with that King of Wands, all kings sort of speak to some kind of closure or completion. So even though you're still in the energy of trying to conquer this situation, I do see some promise, and I do see, you know, that little electrified purple above there on the staff. I just feel that that is a sign that there is something changing here, albeit a very small sort of change is coming through. But you are going to start noticing something about growth or power, or being able to embrace, you know, confidence, that kind of thing, in this period for the month of July. So again, could be dealing with a mature person, could be a male of some, it doesn't have to be man specifically, but certainly energy of, you know, more masculine traits or something along that line. But it's also kind of embracing, like I say, more of your confidence in a particular area. And it certainly seems to be you're getting your confidence back about a situation. Because I feel like, though, again, when you're still here, sitting here in this moon energy, it does tell me that there is a little bit of inspiration that's coming through that, you know, you're trying to mull through. There is some hidden elements here, though, that you're trying to work through. And again, it's having to follow your intuition. It's having to dive deep a little bit here because you are in a place of healing. So it's not a lot of movement in this period. It's more mental energy is what I would say. A lot of cerebral stuff going on here. And again, with that King's energy here, I mean, there's somebody who's trying to sort of fiercely fight something, so, or at least, you know, get a handle on something. So you want to have the upper hand. There's a certain intensity that comes through with this combination of cards, Six of Wands as well as King of Wands. And it seems to be around you trying to create some kind of boundary as well as balance. And maybe you're creating boundaries and able to find the balance, something like that. But you're finding some kind of stability in passions here as well. I do feel like things, you know, either there's a new method or something that's coming through, which is going to improve a situation. But, you know, either way, I just feel like you're sort of moving into a space where things are going to look up. This could be you dealing with, if you are dealing with health issues, this is kind of looking at some of vitamins. I'm not a medical doctor, so, you know, just take it as it resonates. If this is your path and that sounds reasonable for you, then certainly look into it. But I certainly do, you know, I am somebody who takes a lot of vitamins, and I am a proponent for that. So again, mindful of your conditions and what interacts with what. So, you know, run that past your doctor. If you're somebody who's on a high blood pressure medication, you wouldn't necessarily run out and do anything along the lines of a blood thinner and that kind of thing, because there can be a lot of contraindicated issues there. So anyway, I just wanted to run this past you here again. dealing with the Six of Wands and all of that, that still speaks to me as a very, these two are really compatible cards. So I feel like this is strong momentum, strong energy. And again, there's a lot of alternative therapies or vitamins that might be considered here, or things that you are considering in terms of what to benefit your health areas. But again, it's overall health improving, period, with that combination. And for others, this is some kind of, tactful, creative enterprise where you're actually gaining some leverage. You are getting a little bit of notoriety. There's a little more attention on you, that kind of thing, because this is very self-reliant and confident energy between these two. So moving on to the card of the moon. And again, the moon is the card of trying to deal with things on an inward level. So you're really kind of confronting some of your demons, or looking at the things. It doesn't have to be literal demons, nothing like that. But I just mean that it's more along the lines of trying to deal with areas of your life that you haven't maybe dealt with in a while, or they've somehow re-emerged, they've come up. You're trying to kind of wrestle with some of the areas that are not quite integrated, I guess, is what I would say there, with parts of yourself. So I feel like the moon card is also, you're getting, it's not a full light, it's sort of a small amount of light. So you're shedding a little bit of light into a situation, even though it seems like it's not really visible at this time. Sorry guys, just had some outside noise, so I thought I'd just turn that on there. Turn on my car. Okay. So what I see here again, like I said, with the moon, is you're sort of projecting your fears out a little bit. You're not, I mean, you're dealing with it in an inward way, but it seems like there is some kind of fear that is putting you in a space where you just feel like there is something chronic that you're dealing with. Again, for some of you, this is dealing with anxiety. This is dealing with things that you think are true but maybe are not. It's just you creating a reality, or making it into a reality purely by your own thoughts, but it's not really a truth. It's only, a lot of this is really still hidden and not really come to light for you to make any real resolute, you don't have a resolute understanding of the situation. So when I see the moon, the high priestess, as well as the sun here, I would say on the average, like, that combination is very strong, because it does represent different types of light that you're sort of dealing with or interacting with. So there's a certain kind of grandness to that. And I think that that is speaking to reflecting on different areas of our purpose, really just seeing parts of what's true. You're not really seeing the full truth in a particular matter, that kind of thing. Because the moon, like I said, is still reflecting maybe a different way of looking at something. But again, I mean, it's still, reshaping light and intuition. It's somehow interacting with all of these things, so it's kind of borrowing little snippets of truth. It's not really allowing you to see everything. So it's almost like, I don't want to say the moon is completely a sabotaging energy here, because you are relying on your intuition. There's a lot of reflection going on here, but it's almost like there's a fear of the unknown that's coming through there, that you're kind of wrestling with. And I would just say at this point, there's face your fears, because you're going through a healing process. And so because of that healing, you can't really see what's operating behind things, because it's not really been revealed to you. You're in a place of healing, whether this is emotionally, whether this is dealing with a work situation or creative. Well, it seems like there's more on the energy front. I'm getting a lot of that. But it feels like this is a phase, just a phase that you're having to go through. And it's just part of what it takes to, get back on track, because you're holding on to something here. Something's unclear in your mind. And until you can see it clearly here with that Knight of Swords energy, you're going to continue to fluctuate and wrestle with this. Something has been delayed for you. And again, if there is some kind of health issue involved here, I would say this could be anxiety, depression, hormonal imbalances, anything along the lines of mental energy, that kind of thing. But there is some fluctuation in how you're feeling as well. So again, and even in terms of your, there's anxiety or something around your fears. Even it could be even around a career direction as well. But there's not a lot that's being revealed here this month yet. So that's why I say, I mean, I do see some changes up ahead and some changes that you will have to make and able to really reap the reward of the Sun card here. But overall, it does bring in some fortuitous news here because there is some motion, there is some activity. Um, I just want to touch on, like, even with the Sun card, this is your outcome card, and for sure, this is kind of a new life that's opening here. This is the beginning of something that you are transcending. So you're releasing something, you're seeing light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, and I do feel like you are feeling much more supported. Leo energy is also present here. But this is where you're starting to feel a lot more acceptance or self-realization or an understanding of something where you actually see that there is, again, some light at the end of the tunnel. This is where you actually start to, there's more light here in this space. So I feel like there's a lot more empowering energy, and there's definitely a chance of a road up ahead here for travel or something, maybe because of the Sun card. I don't see a lot of cards of travel yet, but maybe further out. But anyway, there's a certain sense of warmth and freedom and just comfort with the card of the Sun. So again, I still feel like there is some sense of an increase in some way, whether this is in terms of money or feeling a sense of light in terms of your emotional state, but there's a certain freeing the mind or opening up and starting to feel much more positive about the current situation. So whatever you were feeling negative with or wrestling with, you're coming out of that energy probably toward the end of the month, whatever that struggle was, or maybe slightly further out. But there is definitely a sense that there is some kind of reemergence of you and hope. So you'll start to feel some balance or more wellness here by the end of the month. And again, if it is something that you are dealing with just in terms of your fears, there could be like a little bit of, vitality I see being renewed here this month. When I start to see the Knight of Swords is a card of getting, clarification. So I feel like you're getting either some information here that could be in around the card of healing, which is the Star, and that helps you to feel like you're creating some balance in your life again. It definitely is, having more faith, and it definitely speaks to having a little bit more energy or time on you. It is also that card of, it can be reaching your highest potential of some sort here with the Star card. But either way, it's a more hopeful energy, and it definitely responds to, healing and that kind of thing, even healing of the mind and all of that. But I feel like it's a much more optimistic time for you in this month. You're starting to see gleams of truth or gleams of more reality coming through, even though the inner conflict is still stuck over here. But you are wrestling with that. So there's more of a positive flow further out. I would say that you're also trying to open yourself up more so to, new information or new things. Like I said, the Knight of Swords is that card of taking action, but it's almost like cerebral. It's more mental action. So it's either using more of a mental mindset to, talk yourself down in a situation, realize, what you need to do to heal. Like, it's almost like information or something is coming through here that makes you feel like, you've taken some action. And I would still say, you're kind of starting to try to take control of your own destiny or your own therapy or your own, you're researching something. You're researching whether this is career related or otherwise, or you're trying to do more research. You're bringing more information in. This is kind of not really seeing yourself as a victim so much as you're trying to take the first steps to get better or change something. Again, it's a real conquering energy here as well. So I feel like you're in that space where you're eager to, to move something ahead that's in regard to, could be a mother figure, could be also, in around levels of abundance or levels of abundance for you. So it doesn't have to be money. And in this case, it seems to be around your energy, I would say. So it's like you're trying to regain the energy back. It's not so much I feel exhaustion and burden, so much as I feel like there's mental energy drawing you out. There's a little internal war, that a struggle that I feel like you're trying to bravely counter, and I feel like you're trying to regain your focus. And there's almost a sense of I need to, reason my way through this situation. I need to be more logical about how I approach it, that kind of thing, because you are in a situation where, I feel you're just trying to overcome your obstacle, but not in a way that feels like it's fully in your control. It's more like, I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm just going to, jump in there and it's sort of a driving, ambitious kind of card, but it's almost like I have to seize control of this situation. I have to do the research. I have to take the first step. It's that kind of energy. So it's almost a certain sense of impatience, where you're listening more with your head, I would say, than a heart space. Okay, sorry guys. Little asthma air thing here. Okay, so what I'm going to say here again with the Empress is I feel like you're dealing with some areas of you that you are struggling with. Like I said, the Empress is that card of, am I good enough? It's things like you're asking yourself those kinds of questions. I get a little bit of energy and then I feel like it's hope, and then something is questioning my growth, or my fears get in the way, and then I start wondering, is this going to be something that's possible for me to overcome? It's still something around that idea of, I've got ideas in my mind, things that I want to make happen. I want to be fearless in the face of these challenges, but yet that strong desire doesn't seem to feel like it's enough. I do feel like there is still that energy of something that's kind of unexpected here, or at least still hidden, that you can't quite put a handle on, to advance it. So until I guess that's revealed, and it looks like there is you're going to reveal it by doing some research. Here's what it looks like. And I feel like once that's revealed, that's when you're going to be able to get into this abundant path. But right now, I would say you're still in the energy, especially with the Five of Wands, of trying to nurture you, trying to, figure out this solution and establish yourself, or establish your ideas, or whatever this is, because this is a struggle internally with the Five of Wands, but it is still an indicator of, a new cycle that's about to progress or shift in some way. Something is about to shift that's going to allow you to feel more hopeful, more inspiration, more change, something along that line. And again, you do have, some sense of overcoming, your challenge. There is something that's here that tells me that you are finding some balance, health, harmony, all of those kinds of things as you advance forward. But again, there's a 5 toward the end of the month, which makes you feel like just before it reaches this incredible, more positive stage, there's a struggle, probably very close to up to the end of the month, and then everything starts to feel a lot better. And then you transition into, something more optimistic here. You start to see more light at the end of the tunnel. So like I said, I mean, that Five of Wands is still that indicator that, you could be, you're not really feeling strong inside. There's a struggle to, conquer, get back to this place of being stable and abundant and happy and that kind of thing. But you might be feeling a little bit triggered here as well, because you feel like you've got a lot to compete with. You've got a lot that might be threatening your abundance, or threatening your harmony, or threatening your health, or whatever it is for you. It's a significant enough challenge that, that you're really putting up a battle here, is what I would say. It's not that you're not going to take it, you're not going to take a back seat here. I feel like you're really in for the battle here. And I do feel like this is still that energy of stressed out. Things feel like It might be moving a little bit quickly here, but there is, like I say, hope at the end of the tunnel here with the Sun card. So your normal routine might be affected here. Again, sorry about the cards here, guys. It was just a sad incident. But again, with that Sun card, it just feels like you are going to be moving past all of this. So Six of Wands, again, is an indicator that something is going to flourish and turn around here for you. This, again, gets you some notoriety. It increases your value this month. And it's certainly that's more toward probably the beginning of the month here, but you're getting something that you want here, and something is finally finished here that is putting you, giving you a sense of more confidence anyway in this period. So you're successfully overcoming some kind of obstacle here. And again, still in the process of healing with the star energy. Not a strong indicator yet as to what is still hidden here, but once that's revealed with the High Priestess, I feel like everything will, you'll know what you're dealing with, and you know how to handle the situation. So until these hidden factors are kind of, brought about, I feel like there's a certain sense of, I have to battle this the hard way, is really what that feels like. This is still hidden parts of your personality. This is also dealing with, trying to get to know yourself, or trying to get to know, yourself well enough to be able to handle the challenge. It's finding your strength inside. It's that kind of thing here as well. Because this is the unknown. This is the parts that are still working through in the unconscious. So it's repression energy here as well with the Moon card. So holding back something here. You're still trying to bring something out. You're still trying to make sense of something. Could be hormonal imbalances here too, things along that line. But again, there's still a lot of energy around, you need to let the energy flow through you, enable for you to really gain some strong insight. Scorpio does seem to be pretty relevant here as well. But you really do have to ask the inner questions and able to overcome something here. So probing beneath the surface is what that card speaks to. And it definitely is going to indicate that you will need to do some listening to your body, listening to your, listening to the parts of yourself. I would say that, like, things will reveal in time here as well with that Knight of Swords, and you might be getting some quick information here as well. But it's like you just have to follow your rational mind here, is what I would say. There's a lot of energy. Your intuition is present. Let that flow through you. But once you have that information, put it into a logical place. What do I need to do? What's my next step? And able to heal the situation. It's kind of that energy. It's not working through the heart, it's working through the mind. Listening to the body, like I said, be aware of synchronicities. All of that could be things coming to you in healing dreams, or something that's, not maybe in the conscious world. It's something that's going to come to you in more of an unconscious way. So that's why I say remain open and receptive, because I feel like the information is you're going to be drawn to the information in some way. So you need to be paying attention here with that Knight of Swords. So it's energy of successfully achieving what you want here, like I said, with the Sun energy. But you just have to kind of trust the process that you're in is going to turn in your favor. And of course, when we get to the Page of Cups, I mean, that's all energy around, some favorable thing turning in your corner here as well. Could also be dealing with a water sign for some of you, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, anything like that. Could be a childlike energy as well. But I feel like either way, there's some kind of communication or some information that is coming through that's going to give you a little bit of insight as to what the next step is. So again, Page of Cups is something favorable, and it emotionally is going to be satisfying to you. I would say you're going to be in that space of, small step again. Pages are still just sort of into the entryway of something. So there is an idea that something is on an upward swing. You're expanding into it here, showing up at the right place, the right time, that kind of thing. And you are getting some happy results from that. So there's a more meaningful connection. and it's a bit of, yeah, it's a bit of a bright spot here for you toward the end of the month. So again, whether this is communication that's telling you, you're moving in the right direction and here's the direction you need to move in, or whether it is something along the lines of something to do with feet or legs as well, but it's all positive moving there. Like I said, I feel like there's a lot more here that speaks to a true path of possibilities either way, because that Page of Cups energy is it's just really good news of some sort that's going to be coming through at the end of the month. So anyway, that's what I have for you. I'll just quickly say there were some other cards that sort of fell out as well that kind of spoke to happier times as well. So maybe I'll just kind of quickly review it. We did have the Knight of Pentacles, so if this is dealing with a health issue, kind of slow moving energy around grounded things, and again, that can be in terms of money as well. Certainly just taking practical steps and being responsible. We also have you doing a lot more research and information, but again, this is all going to be turning in your favor because the Wheel of Fortune does indicate there is going to be some deep transitions for you, and I feel like you are struggling through a little bit of that right now at this time. But Page of Pentacles, again, there's a small token of some kind of grounded information. Judgment card coming through with, I'm just kind of plowing through it here, but Judgment sort of plowing through with a commitment to make something, some information is known to you now. And I feel like this is going to be where there could be kind of a crossroads about this new start, as well as, looking at the old you, but you're transforming yourself into a new and a better life with the Ace of Pentacles. Again, it's something that'll show up in the real world because it is the Ace of Pentacles. And again, it's releasing the past for this nice, fresh start. But it's you sort of in that space of finding more freedom. Definitely speaks to, something coming in that's going to bring about a big change for you in terms of, doesn't have to be money, but it can be money, could be a new job. But this is more kind of cards that sort of fell out into, as a chunk toward the end here. So I'm more inclined to feel like this is sort of secondary energy that might be a little further out. But I would still say it's moving in the right direction. Again, Ace of Pentacles is a new start, feeling like you can, you're in a new stream of income. You're in a new place of a good plan that is going to bring about some achievement or material possessions. Autumn kind of speaks to this card here as well. It also kind of runs around that area of, you're benefiting, not for some of you it's material way, but for others in terms of a health issue. I would say that this is an improved physical, mental sort of state. There might be more vegetarian kind of and exercise kind of programs that are involved here, but there is definitely something around a grounding alternative therapy as well for others. Definitely speaks to something new emerging in your life here. And again, it just feels like you're at the right place at the right time. We also have the last card out, which is the Four of Wands. And of course, the Four of Wands is that card of happy family or celebrations, a reconnection with things that are much more balanced for you, because fours are all about balance and harmony and all of those things. And I feel like that's where the direction of where you're headed. So there's a foundation here enabled for you to move forward on. This is definitely creating something that is due to really good planning. And again, Four of Wands, you are looking at something where there is a move in the right direction. And like I say, it's also about partnerships. Things are looking pretty good in this space. So it might be a little further out for, for some of you, because again, you're not all in the same timeline. You don't make the decisions on the same day, all of that. So if you're in the energy right now, this is more applicable. But again, further out, some of you are going to see that there is more reason to feel safety and secure, and that, better times are up ahead here. So this is happy, healthy relationships with the Four of Wands. It's all around the things that help to set you back on track. So just know that it's a better foundation. It does feel like it's more of an energy around improvement on lots of different levels here. So again, it's not just to do with mental health, physical health. It's also to do with more, possibilities that are allowing you to feel like you can move ahead with a better sense of security either way. So anyway, that's what I have for you for the month of July for you, Aries. If you have, if you stick around, I will do some other cards more along career, money, finance, but this is just sort of the general energy of the month. So keep moving forward and stay focused. You are going in the right direction, and definitely for a powerful, more positive and